Welcome back to Hideaway, everyone. Hope everybody's doing okay out there with this COVID-19 crisis and everything that's going on, whether you guys are staying home or you guys are essential workers working at hospitals, grocery stores, you name it. Everybody's keeping the faith. If you guys have someone who's sick, hope they get better. Just make sure you guys have faith and, keep pushing forward through this thing. We will come out of it okay on the other side. America's a great country, and I truly believe, we've been through worse things as a country. So thank you guys again for all your support, and I hope you guys stay safe. So today I kind of want to start a series about introducing you guys to the reptile room and my amphibian collection as well. So we have 2 sets of amphibians, and then the rest of them are reptiles. I think it's a total of 12 species, 12 different animals in here, and 4 or 5 different types of species. So I'll start with the aquatic turtle collection. Have 2 types of aquatic turtles, have diamondback terrapin and razorback musk turtle. Today is going to be Buzz, who's our razorback musk turtle. We're going to go ahead and see that. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, first things first, right? So I'll show you Buzz's enclosure ear. So he's a razorback musk turtle, and if you guys are wondering why he doesn't have any substrate, for those of you that don't really keep reptiles or just following this channel, he doesn't really have any substrate. Was a recommendation from a lot of veterinarians that the best environment, right? Because turtles in general can get impactions from their substrate. They can absorb it into their mouths, whether it's on purpose or not, when they're eating their food. You can see in there Buzz has some salmon and some shrimp pellets that he eats. He's a bottom feeder. So we'll close up real quick on his little bio here, right? So he's a razorback musk turtle, Sternetherus carinatus, and his range is the southern United States. Conservation status would be least concern, and you can see him kind of back there. He's hanging out in the back. Right, there's him. He's a hatchling. He's pretty young. Got him at a Repticon, actually, in here in Jacksonville, Florida, at the January show. So he's pretty new to our collection. You just have a basic setup here, some grass. These guys are in a little bit more heavily vegetated areas in the wild. Just got a little place where you can come up and kind of climb up and bask. This guy in particular doesn't really like to bask a whole lot. So he's in the back. I'll pull him out here in a second. But yeah, this is Buzz's enclosure. Just have a pretty simple setup for him. He'll get bigger, about the size of your fist. So if you can imagine, about 4 to 6 inches will be his max length for his species. And these guys are native to Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. You can find them in rivers. Like I said, a lot of heavy vegetation where these guys hang out, and they'll spend about 80 to 90% of their life underwater. You guys, a nice close-up here of Buzz. And he's pretty shy. He's trying to open his mouth there. He's pretty shy, comparable to other animals that I have. But you can see that gorgeous patterning that these turtles have, right? And they'll lose that as they get bigger. You can see their shell. This is kind of, the keel of their shell. He's trying to bite me. The keel of their shell is what gives them the distinct name razorback musk turtle, right? And they do kind of have this little scent. That's why they're called musk turtle that they put off. It's pretty neat. And you can see the bottom. He kind of lays on the bottom, on that bottom of his shell. So there's less of it, and he's able to move around on the bottom. He'll get a lot bigger though. I don't know, actually. I keep calling him he, right? But they're too small when they're this little to sex at all. And you can see he's just adorable, and these are one of my favorite turtles. So that's Buzz. All right, and we'll put him back in the water. Here we go. Watch him take off. There he goes. All right. So to kind of expand on Buzz a little bit, right? So you can see how he kind of likes to stay stationary for a lot of the time. A lot of times you can see the algae growing on the back of his shell. And on a lot of these species that kind of lay on the bottom, your common snappers, your alligator snappers, your loggerhead musk turtles, razorback musk turtles like this, you can see how they just kind of lay on the bottom there, and they just they either wait for something to come by, or they'll find, a piece of fish or some snail that's on the bottom or on a leaf, and they'll go ahead and eat that, and that's going to be part of their diet. So it's pretty neat, and it's kind of weird just watching him kind of stay still. You see how he breathes. He's kind of regulating himself there. He's right underneath the heater. He loves being under there because that thing keeps the water about 78 degrees. It's a preset heater. But pretty cool to just watch, you know, kind of watch them exist in their underwater, you know, world that's kind of their own little environment, right? So, you know, we watch Buzz underwater here. You know, he kind of runs around, and one of the things we like to think about is water quality, right? So his pH right now in his water is about 6.8, and one of the things you got to look for is ammonia and nitrates in their water as well. So a lot of what we do is, right, about once a week or every 2 weeks or so, we'll change out his water if it starts to get too grody, because his water quality has to be up to par, just like humans, right? So just like with humans, we have to have clean water to drink. We can't really have stuff with a whole lot of protozoa or bacteria. Obviously, turtles are a pretty hardy species, and they can kind of tolerate some pretty gross environments, but for the most part, when we're keeping them in captivity, they got to have relatively clean water. So we'll do water changes for Buzz every once in a while, probably 1 to 2 weeks at a time, just to make sure that he's as healthy as he can be under our care. Like I said, pretty neat, just kind of hangs out there on the bottom. Super cool turtle. So one of the things we like to do at Hideaway is kind of do our research and see what other companies who contribute to the entertainment industry kind of do for, you know, the environment, for conservation or community projects, things like that. So went ahead and looked up Dos Equis and looked at their parent company, which is Heineken. So I wanted to see what kind of work that they do around the world, conservation efforts, things like that. And for the most part, these big corporations do a lot of conservation or you know, some kind of environmental effort, or they give back in some way. And so Heineken has this thing called the Heineken Africa Foundation in Burundi. So they do actually provide clean water for people in Burundi. And they initiated a project to give the Mumbimbi community access to clean water. So down in Mumbimbi, they are exposed to risks of contaminated water, which can lead to all kinds of diseases, especially affecting young children. So the drinking water system there dates back from 1965, and it urgently needed replacement. So there was apparently 16 years of civil war in Burundi, and the Mumbimbi area was highly affected, which resulted in unmaintained and destructive water sources. So Heineken stepped in and pretty much gave them training for the local community, as well as secured the water quality to ensure the sustainability of the water sources. So if you guys have ever watched any wildlife documentary or any kind of water documentary about indigenous peoples or people that still live off the land, you know, these women are hiking miles and miles a day to go get this water. And so Heineken was able to contribute and positively impact around, you know, 27,900, so almost 30,000 people within the community. So with their education, training, and programs, and obviously their stabilization there, they contributed about 90,000 euros, which is equivalent to about $97,000 US. So just like, you know, I was talking about earlier with water quality with Buzz. So Buzz, just like humans, you know, they need good water quality. He needs a pH of 6.8 to 7, and, you know, low levels of ammonia and nitrates. Obviously, turtles and other wildlife can take some pretty intense environments underwater, but if they were given the option to have clean water versus, you know, the dirty water that they have, just like us, we would choose the clean water. So just wanted to kind of tie it back in and let you guys know, anytime you guys enjoy a Heineken or a Dos Equis, that parent company donates back to the community, and even if it's in Africa, and contributes to clean water efforts. So I hope everyone enjoyed that video. You know, obviously, there's a lot of good work being done out there by these companies and corporations, giving back to the community, you know, and that's exactly what it's all about, is recognizing that there's more work that's going on out there than the world actually sees. So, you know, that's kind of the big thing that we're about here at Hideaway, is just recognizing that and having fun during the process. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn those post notifications on so you guys know whenever, you know, we put up a new video. And remember, anytime you guys drink Dos Equis, Heineken's got the back of those people down there in Africa. You guys take care. That's it for me at Hideaway.